and scars. I'll brush you off just like the dust upon my shoulder. I have a hunch of who you are. Believe it or not, I got the strength to blow you over. I'm a hurricane, I'm bringing thunder and rain. I'm a hurricane if you get in my way.
Target acquired.
Eagle 1, first strike. You have permission to engage the target.
Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Is that it? There we go. That's weird. Literally click the exact same thing. Whatever. Probably needed to be rebooted or some nonsense. All right, welcome, guys. For some reason, I've got chat up in a couple of places. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. Throw that down there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry, I actually was really pressed for time today. I had a lot going on, and it just didn't really work out for me the way I wanted it to. I should have been in here about 30-45 minutes ago testing all this stuff, but I literally walked in, flipped the heat on. It's cold as hell in here right now still, and set the light, and action, away we go. So I've got to figure out why I'm not getting my my sound playing the way it should. It plays through my monitor perfect, but it's not playing through the. It's not playing through the app, so that's annoying. That's okay. I'll figure it out. It's not that big a deal overall. All right, how's everybody today? Is everybody doing good? Let me see who's out there in the chat. Chat looks good today. Looking good. It's a good looking crowd. Got TR Finley, Anson Knowles, Imperious, Mr. Boulay dropped in. R. Allen is in the house. 13 is in the house. God Guns and Glory is in the house. How about that, man? Ticky Tack. There is he's in here. John Burt is made it by again. How are you, sir? I see a lot of green out there. I appreciate all the members. It's going to be great. Yeah, sorry about the sound, guys. I see everybody talking about it. It's a the we gotta get I gotta get some standardization going on, or I got to set up profiles so that when I go into other platforms, it changes automatically, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't know. I have too many pieces of software overlapping at times, and you don't know which piece is not working. So that's good. And welcome again to everyone. Welcome and good to see everybody. It's getting closer to Christmas. I've got a busy week ahead of me coming into Christmas, and then, of course, once we move past that, it'll be just as busy. I said that we would talk about business today, last night on the show. I intend to do just that. We have so much to talk about; it's hard to even know where to start. We've got all of these different news articles coming out every single day. You don't even know really what to believe anymore. Um, you've got the Ukraine stuff. We've got Israeli stuff. We've got everyone kind of going nuts out there. The California's talking about banning gas cars, or ICE cars by 2025. Which I don't think they can do. I mean, that would just be terrible, and I think everybody would literally flee from there. We've just got a lot of going on out there, guys. Now, part of that is, obviously the Biden administration is really kind of what's the word I'm looking for here? The Biden administration is floundering, right? And they're flailing about. They dropped the interest rate a quarter of a point. Interest rates have already been kind of easing down anyway. Welcome, Mikey Balls. How are you, sir? And I feel like that there's going to be some significant effects of this. I was talking about it this morning with my wife, and she thinks that is why investor enthusiasm and money is flowing out of the market. She feels like that is why that is. Personally, I don't necessarily agree with that. And she's basing that on the supposed announcement that, or not announcement, the feeling that there was going to be 4 more reductions to the interest rate over the course of 2025. And now those predictions are not, I guess people are saying that those predictions are not going to happen. We may not get 4 rounds of the reduction in interest rate because the Fed's saying that basically, and that is cooling investors. Personally, I personally believe that all of the money right now is in a holding pattern because nobody knows what Trump is going to do. They're very interested in what he's doing with his cabinet. And sure, it's a good excuse to use the fact that the Fed is predicting now to not have those reductions in interest rate. But I don't see how we're not going to have a reduction in interest rate, depending on what Trump does. If you haven't paid attention to the government lately, it is in a shambles. You've got one government office that's very important. And I cannot remember its initials off the top of my head, but basically it's the budget, budgeting office, and they have. I think they're like. What did I read about that the other day? It's Oh man, I cannot think, and I'm not on dark mode here. Um, so um, the at any rate, so with with the government and just a shambles in fear, trying to get stuff done before Trump takes office. Um, it's it's rough out there, guys. Um, and um, it's going to be very interesting. I think the first part of and obviously, um, the money's gonna sit right. In Pierce, I don't disagree that it's normal market volatility. Um, the but look, I see a lot of advantage here right now. Like just in the past um 6 weeks, 8 weeks, we've seen a reduction in interest rate, and it's making it easier for people to purchase money, loans, get loans. Um, and it's there's I honestly think there's a glimmer of hope that hasn't been there in recent years. But on um, the opposite side of our side, the conservative side, the realistic side, the side that wants success, you have these leftists out there who are just preaching, you know, horrible things, and that's what's going to happen. The Office Transformer performance putting on. Okay, yeah, 60 years of being a creep. Sure, yeah, okay, yep. All right, so it's a small crowd today. I get it. We're getting close to the holidays. People just are not on. Hey, what's up, Intel Wild? How are you, sir? But I've gotten several messages about how you guys like when we talk business, money, and news, and so we're going to continue to do more of that, and we'll use the nighttime shows for all the fun stuff, or different fun. Um, the appeals court has disqualified Fannie Willis from the Georgia case, and that. I mean, honestly, that case is done. It's just done. There's no there's just nothing that's going to happen going forward. It just is what it is, guys. Um, the people are blaming Trump for tanking the spending bill. I don't know what you guys think about that. I'm on the fence. I think that I feel like that there's a lot that we're not being told about this, and all of the articles that say that that put the tanking of the funding bill at Trump's feet are all by leftists, and they're all um, they're taking Republican comments somewhat out of context. Um, but let's be honest here, guys. If Trump can actually tank a bill just by making a couple of comments about it, it wasn't a good bill. It just wasn't, right? Like if it was a good bill, then his comments would have had no effect. So this is very interesting, and I like I said, I think that Trump really is looking to make um, Trump's really looking to clean house. It's just like when you if you were to buy a business and it was tanking and it was having a lot of problems, and there was just all kinds of nonsense going on. The first thing you would do is you'd walk in and you would clean house. And that's what Trump's doing, and they're scared. And I believe that he's going to push for term limits for Congress. I believe he's going to push for a lot of things, and he may not be able to get it done. But the real fear is is that after 4 years of Trump, whoever goes in there may pick up that same hue and cry, and that would be very bad for Congress because they would lose their standing, right? Um, so it's guys, there's so much out there, man. I don't even know where to start anymore with all of this stuff. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. We're gonna get into a lot of it though. TR Finley, it was a horrible bill. Yeah, exactly, man. Too many bad points, but yeah, no, it was a bad bill, and just think about Trump was able to tank it just by making a few comments because it was bad, right? So it's very interesting. All right, so guys, I've got to take a minute here. I've got to do my normal grift. I always forget. Today, I'm not going to forget. Today, I'm on point ish. Guys, if you appreciate this content, if you appreciate me being up here talking about this stuff day in, more or less day out, especially the morning shows. The morning shows take away a good chunk of my daytime for that I could be doing other things. Please consider sending a donation in, and if you can't, don't take your last $5 out of your bank account. Don't send your last 20. Don't or if you're struggling, don't send me money. I don't need it that badly. But the show's got to start turning some kind of return. And while we have picked up. We had a big slump there for a month, and I need to build it back up. We got to start getting. I got to get better at the grift. I've got to get better at making this kind of a paying gig. And YouTube actually just destroys me on. Oh, we got a super chat coming in. Mikey Ball.
Mike Ball donated $19.99. Super chat. The grift is real. Winking face.
The grift is real, Mikey Balls. Thank you so much. So, guys, at the end of the day, it costs money to do this show. It costs time, effort, and I make a lot more money doing other things than this. But at the same time, I got to get something out of this, and I appreciate every dollar sent in. It actually really means a lot to me, and I will keep doing cool stuff up here as long as we can do that. Mikey Balls, $20, get your name tossed in a hat at the end of the month. I will put I put all the people who donate over $20 into a hat. A randomizer, and I award someone a gift pack. Tiki Tac got last month's. I actually need to. I have something I'm waiting on to send Tiki Tac. After I bugged him for his address, I got a notice not last night, but I got a notice saying that something cool this way comes, and I'm probably gonna wait, and I'm gonna send Tiki Tac one of the first ones because he's been cool and he's been a great supporter of the show. Again, guys, if you can't spend the money, you need money for your family, you need whatever, I will continue to do what I do. But absolutely, the grift is real, and I gotta keep going with it. So, and there we go. Expertise would be what would be paid elsewhere. That's true. Needs to happen. 100. Yeah. So let's talk about how you can improve your life, because this is one of those times of year, guys, and I'm going to get away from the news for a minute. I'm going to get away from the governmental stuff for a little while, mainly because there's so much. It's hard to even pick it apart. But let's talk about how to improve your lives, and how that I feel like a lot of people kind of missed the boat on this. And while I'm no Dave Ramsey, right? I've listened to Dave Ramsey for years. I listened to Rush Limbaugh for years. I listened to a lot of really smart people for years, and so a lot of that just sort of seeped into my thick skull. And finally, I started understanding things. And one of the things I think that young people, and by young, I mean basically 18 to about 20, 26, 27, 28, somewhere along in there, 10-year range, is they're never really taught to set goals. They're never really taught to understand that everything they do every single day in life has an effect somewhere else. It just does. And so what that really means is, and I've said this before, is you have everything in life becomes an if then statement, and everything in life has a reaction, right? So if you are, and I like to say that most people, even if you don't know what the end desired result is, most people should constantly be evaluating what they're doing, why they're doing it, and how it's going to go somewhere. And and I'm gonna put it like this. So like if you were 17, 18, or your little brother is 17, 18, or your son is 17 or 18 or whatever, you need to have a hard, honest talk about how you have to get ahead in life. And the way that most people need to get ahead in life is they need to plan. They need to have, and I'm not talking about on this day I'm going to do this, on this day I'm going to do it. I'm talking about, for example, a good sound plan for most young adults would be, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get a job. Doesn't matter what it is. Once they have that job, they start looking for another job that's maybe a little better and more focused on their interest. All right. So I get a job at McDonald's slinging burgers. I'm looking for a job. Maybe I get a job in a hardware store, a car lot, car dealership, whatever. I go work there. And that gives me some work experience, right? That gives you some real world outlook and focus. And you're around actual adults that can kind of talk to you about their life experiences, and you should listen to that. If you are in that 17, 18-year-old range, and that's how you do that. It's a part-time gig. You don't really need that much money. All right. Now let's just say you're getting into college. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm on the fence about college for most people these days. I'm not really sure that for most careers it's necessary. And for a lot of careers, you're better off going to a trade school, which is why I said get some work experience, go to a trade school, do your life. Now, as far as women are concerned, partners, if you're a female, if you're talking about a man, you have to understand that if you don't come up together, if you don't get know each other young and get married young and do all of that stuff, if you don't come up together, it's really hard later. When you get to be 15, or pardon me, 15, when you get to be 20, 21, 23, 24, in that area, and you need to do things, if you're constantly dating, if you're constantly thinking about women, if you're constantly thinking about um, that, or you're constantly being yelled at because you have a girlfriend and she wants you to spend time with her and spend money on her and do all of that, and you need to do something else as a man. You need to go out and I have a friend of mine, and we were talking about it yesterday, that of course he's not married. He's come close a couple of times. He's not married yet. And he would literally go out and drive he was a delivery driver. He would literally just go out and drive the road. So he knew how to go places and do things. And he was always out at all hours of the day and night. And he ended up being a great delivery driver. And, and he did pretty well at that. And now he's doing other things, which I'm not, I don't think it's important. It's not I don't think it's a very interesting job, um, but if he had had a girlfriend who said, "Hey, you need to be back. I mean, what are you doing out at midnight? Why are you out driving at 1 o'clock in the morning just to think and clear your head and all of that?" So you really have to set yourself up for success, and and potentially just not having distractions is really a good way to do that. Other ways that you're going to set yourself up for success is you need to get an understanding of how business and money actually work. And there's a lot of different theories and a lot of different concepts, but really you have to figure out how it's going to work for you and what your risk tolerance is and what your strengths and weaknesses are. If you are somebody that's indecisive, go with the crowd, can't, you order what everybody else is eating just because you're not sure what's good. If you're that kind of person, more than likely you need to go to trade school, you need to get a job, you need to work 30 years as a highly skilled, highly paid person that doesn't have a lot of actual decision making processes. That sounds harsh, but that's a reality, right? Go in the military, you'll do great. Um, However, if you're somebody that has a little bit different set of personalities, where you are, you're very comfortable alone, you're a leader, you know, are, you know, take a lot of risk and don't have a problem with that, then maybe the different path is for you. But you absolutely have to understand how business works. And I'm not saying that you need to go to business school. You could go to the local community college and take some business classes and understand, how money works and take some control of your life in that aspect. You don't have to go to college full time to take a few courses here and there to get knowledge you need, or go to go to a seminar, get into some kind of. There are some clubs and areas that you can get into, but understanding how business and money works will serve you very well in life, no matter who you are. Um, once you're kind of on that path, and notice I'm not saying that you need to go do this job, or you need to buy real estate, or you need to buy the you need to do. None of this stuff is important, because I know very successful people that have never ever done a real estate deal outside of buying their own house, and that's it. They don't own real estate. They don't. I mean, they own their house, but they don't own 20 houses. They're not flipping houses. They're not flipping cars. They're not doing anything. They're just skilled tradesmen, and they've gotten to a point where they can charge a lot of money for their time and effort, and they do very well. Now, are they doing as well as other people? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Let's get yourself a good Mexican. That's probably true. Best thing for personal advancement is multiple wives. Just ask women. Behind every great man is a great wife. No, Anson. Bad Anson. Bad. Bad Anson. I need a rolled up newspaper right now. Um, and don't get into things that everybody else is doing just because it's cool, right? Like, if you don't understand how the stock market works, don't invest in stocks. If you don't understand how bonds and options and all of this stuff does, don't do that. Actually, Anson, that's probably the best point you've made in a while. If you do get married at 18 and you are building a life with this woman, there's a reason now to hustle and get things done and grow up fast for most people. It doesn't work for everybody, and we see that day in, day out. But and this is why I say that if you are going to do that, get married. If you're going to get married young, you need to get married by the time you're 23. In my humble opinion, that's kind of like the butter zone, where you're young enough to grow together and have a good life together. Obviously, things change, but people change, society changes, all that. But definitely, the pressure to earn money really, well, actually, the pressure to provide a good living is key to a lot of people. And he says something really, really good there, and that is, you're not trying to extend your youth, right? Our society's infantilized enough, right? Like, most 18-year-olds are basically toddlers and have no maturity level whatsoever. Now, I'm not all of them, obviously. There are good ones out there, but by and large, today's 18-year-olds graduating high school are chumps, right? I mean, they're not mature. They don't understand how to do anything, and they can't survive on their own without their parents. They have no skill in society whatsoever. Mr. Boulay. Thank you, sir. TTS coming through.
Mr. Boulay and the Department of Numismatics donated $10, super chat. Grid 1 humble. That's comedy.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Good job, Mr. Boulay. Thank you, sir. By a long shot, Grit. Yeah, yeah. I mean, so look, guys, I really do like. I don't know how to say. I'm not, and I'm really not trying to be a jerk here. I really am not. But I knew kids that were 18 that were working on construction sites with grown ass men doing grown work and like leading crews. And now we have kids that won't leave their damn room if they're out of Toasty Puffs or whatever fuck cereal they eat. I mean, this is nuts. So grow up. If you have kids, it's your job as a parent to make sure that when they're 18, when they're legally an adult and they can go out and get a real job, they need to be men, or they need to be women if they're women. But if they're men, if they're boys, they need to start being men at around 16. Right? We just the other day we talked about the lady who was arrested because her 10-year-old walked to the store, not even a mile away. And he had a cell phone. There was no problem. But some idiot calls the cops because they see a child walking down the street. How much more can we infantilize people? That's got to stop. So rule number 1 is 18, you're an adult. You do adult things. You think in adult ways. Now, maybe young adult, right? I mean, you're still going to be a kid. You're still going to do stupid shit. But I know 30-year-olds that do stupid shit. So who cares? Are We Not Men says he started on the job site at 13. Yeah. Right. I was sweeping out shops when I was 13 or 14. And I actually, when I was 14, I did summer. I started working during the summer through a city sponsored program where the city paid me to do work. So again, guys, if you want to be successful, when you were, and you want your kids to be successful, it's very important that they're adults when they become adults legally. They need to have values that are good values, right? Like paying their bills on time. I was actually just talking to one of my old suppliers. This guy up in New York, he builds, he makes some of the coolest engine parts on the planet. I mean, just really good stuff. And we were talking about it, and he was really lamenting the fact that he can't get anyone to design a website that doesn't want to charge him a bunch of money for doing nothing. And he can't get people in to do actual work in his shop. So it's him and a couple of trusted employees. And I think his dad actually helps him. And so he has that, and he has more work than he can stand. And he's like, he says, but his clientele has changed. It's so interesting. So if you're going to do business, understand a lot of clientele has changed. You're not dealing with grown ass men that have grown ass expectations and understanding that, oh, you know what, parts didn't come in, or hey, this is delayed, or it costs this much because it's a big project. And one of the things we talked about was that I could really identify with, having worked in the industry myself, is he had a guy bring a car in, and the guy wanted the entire engine bay pulled apart, every nut and bolt cleaned, a lot of it polished, painted, everything like brand new. Cool. Shot him a price of 13 grand. And that was low. That was a low estimate. The kid was mad. He's like, it's just this. And Jonathan was like, do you know how much work this is? Like it's 8 hours to do, to take all of that apart. It's 22 hours, right? 22 hours. And you are going to whine about paying for it. And I've seen that my whole life, is that people want things, but they don't want to pay for it, and they don't understand why they should, which is worse. I believe that people need to educate their customers, but parents need to educate their kids that things cost money and your time is worth money, right? And so I use the expression, if you work 30 hours a week and I wanted to only pay you for 25, you'd be pretty pissed about that, wouldn't you? If you were on site 30 or 40 hours for the week and I asked you to take a couple $100 off your check, just, or why not? Give me a little discount, you would be mad about that. So why is it that people always ask other people to do that? I don't bicker. I don't and I really don't beg for discounts from my friends and suppliers because it's offensive. And that's what we live in these days, right? But if a guy works 8 hours, puts in 8 hours of his time, he expects to get paid for 8 hours of his time. And it's offensive for someone to say, "Well, I'm not going to pay that." So it's a it's just the way it is. Let's see what we got here. I got a bunch of comments flowing in. I haven't been able to read them. Let me scroll. Bring back finishing school for young women. Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Actually, segregated, female only schools would be great again, I think. Feel like the simplest thing kids should learn that has been thrown away, show up on time. Yes, absolutely. You can be a nitwit, but if you show up on time, the boss is most likely going to keep you. That's actually really true. Let's see what else we got. A good website guy. Okay. Who may or may not be your brother. I can pass that on to Jonathan. I told him I know some guys. From 8 to 12, Big Jake's Ranch did concrete with his dad over the summers. Yeah, 12 to 16, and greased, did tires, upkeep on the dump truck. See, and you know what? That taught you how to work really hard, right? Really hard. That's right. And so everybody wants everything for free or at a discount or whatever. But again, if I go to if I go into your place of business and I ask you to take less money, you're going to look at me like I'm stupid. But literally, I've never had a customer not ask me for a little bit of a discount. That's why I never ask for a discount, pay full price. If somebody wants to give me a discount out of the kindness of their heart, generally I'll take it. But I'm not going to ask, "Hi man, can you give me a few bucks off of that?" And usually, I think it's offensive for people to ask for discounts right out of the gate. Now, if I have a customer and that customer spent 50 grand with me, and and the opportunity comes up to give him a couple 300, 400 bucks off his bill, why would I not do that? But when I've got a guy who's trying to feed his family, right? And this is how this really works out, guys. You have a technician, right? And I don't care. It could be an auto tech, it could be computer tech, it could be any kind of technician, right? Somewhere somebody's going to pay them for every hour they work. So if I go to them, if I hire somebody in and then I go to them and say, "Hey, look, I know it's going to take you 8 hours to I know it's going to take you 8 hours to do this job, but we can only build, the customer is like really unhappy even billing 4 hours. So, you can only write down 4 hours." That guy would quit because he's worth the money. He would go somewhere else where he's going to get paid. When I worked for the last company I worked for as an employee, every single job, and this taught me a lot, every single job got billed. Every job I worked on, every moment of my day that I was on site was accounted for. So if I was working on this over here, 3 hours, I wrote down 3 hours on X project, and it had a number there. If I was on project, 35, 3 hours, project 35. And it was then, and so I got paid, and they knew who to bill for what. And none of the customers none of the customers ever got that. or never got unhappy with that because it was very clearly documented, and they could argue about whether or not it should be, but it wasn't that big a deal. I asked for discounts on real estate. No, I don't ask for discounts on real estate. However, what I value a piece of property at may be very different than what the seller is valuing it at, and that's where we come to an agreement, right? Because then that's an offer, right? There's no labor involved there. There's no, it's, hey man, you think your property is worth 200 grand? I think it's worth 150. Maybe we can meet in the middle, but probably not. Same thing on cars, right? I don't ask for a discount. I go into a dealership. I don't immediately say, well, take 10% off. I'll tell them, hey man, I've seen this car for 25 grand. I'll give you 25. Let's do it. The guy says, no, I need 30. I'm probably still going to stick it at 25, but that's a different framework. Many entry level jobs will no longer hire full-time employees because they don't want to pay for benefits. That's a whole other argument. I like that. It's harder for young people to get established than it was when you were young. That's correct because of the laws. Oh, you got deals? I'm always up for deals. Yeah, but at any rate, when you were young and you have time to do it and you have room to fuck up, do so, because it builds you into a better human. And you work. There's no getting rich quick. It works for very few people. You're better off spending your time and energy into putting your time and energy into working and making money and not doing other things. So I have a friend of mine in Utah, and we talk all the time about, would you buy in Nantucket or Naugatuck? I don't know where Naugatuck, Connecticut is. I'll buy anywhere that the money's right. So we'll just DM me on Discord and we'll talk. Single and two both off market. Okay. Got a single. All right. Send it to me on Discord. Lost my train of thought a little bit, but I'll swing right back into it. So this guy's name's Nate. He so 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, man, I don't know. It's been a minute. He sends me this this prospectus that he's been sent by some real estate gurus that they're putting together kind of a consortium to invest in these Airbnb properties, vacation rentals. And I took one look at it and I said, they just pulled these numbers out of their ass. There's like no damn way. Like there's none of it. And it came out later that that's exactly what Airbnb was doing. They were just making the numbers up. None of that shit was based on actual data of any kind anywhere. So I look at it. I'm like, look, man, you do what you want to do. There's no way I'm going to put money into this. It's bad data. Now, if they can get me good data and stuff I can prove out and model and and it's right, then yeah, I might be in, but I'm out. I'm done. They just don't, And so he actually, my buddy actually, Nate, he actually did not invest in that either. I guess he needed my money. Without my money, he didn't have enough to meet the minimum or whatever, which was, I guess, good for him, that I wasn't interested. And so he ended up not doing the deal. And later that deal completely fell apart, completely. And it, for lack of a better word, man, it was a bad deal all the way around. All of the numbers were garbage. There was no reality to it. And so he skated out from underneath that. But he kept looking for, kind of these investment deals. He did a bunch of things that I thought were kind of stupid. He's kind of on the right path now, but we'll see. We'll see where he goes. But you just can't. You can't. There's really no shortcut to actual success, right? There's just hard work. Now, whether you front load all that hard work or you get there and then you work yourself, nearly to death to get it done, it doesn't matter. It's still the same hard work either way. Now, as you're working, you got to keep those expenses right. Got to keep your money right. Don't go out and buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house if you're single. And if you do, rent the rooms out, dummy. Like, I literally know dudes that I knew a guy in Boulder that had like a $1 million townhouse that he lived in by himself. It was like two bedrooms and everything. And he bought it at like, I don't know, like 500 grand or something, which was a lot, but he was making a lot of money at the time. And it ended up getting on foreclosed on. He lost everything because he got laid off and then he couldn't find a job. And then all kinds of shit happened. And he was unemployed for a very long time. And he ended up losing the house and because he wouldn't sell the house. Like, what kind of fucking idiot are you? If I owe 500 grand, I'm sitting on $1 million. I'm selling that $1 million asset and selling my score and starting over. How hard is that? Right. Yeah, right. TR Finley, always do your homework before you spend any money and always have a plan. If for every dollar you spend, some of it is discretionary, but some of it needs to be something that's going to pay off at some point. Right. Like, don't be stupid. Being stupid is stupid. Don't do that. Let's see. Hold on. We got here. Got more chat. Something I was told as a young man that I took to heart: money is free for the taking. It just depends on how hard and how much effort you put into taking it. I like that. I like that a lot. There's nothing wrong with that statement. I think that you really need to. I think as young people, and I'm specifically talking about young men, but this does apply to young women as well. When we are talking about all of these things, and we're talking, we're talking about making money, having a good life. For every dollar that you spend, you should be putting $1 into something that's either saving it and earning some interest or earning you money in some way. And if you put money into something, right, like you do a side project or you get or you got to make some money, right? So you go out and you cut lawns all summer because you're bored as fuck. And Daniel Zahn, I am Zero Cool. That's so the blue name up at the top, the guy who owns the place, that's me. So it's easy. Yeah, the whole shit. You can just put stuff out in the chat and I'll see it eventually. I don't look at it very often though. Like, I'm not looking at it now. So, but I'll get to it, I promise. At any rate, guys, and I don't care what it is, if you go out and you buy something or you put some money in something, if it doesn't bring you money back in some way, probably need to stop doing that. Right. I've always looked at most things I've bought as assets or liabilities, and I try to minimize my liabilities. So if I buy a boat, I don't go out and buy a $70,000 boat on note. I go out and I buy a $5,000 boat that needs a little bit of work. I put some work into it, some sweat equity, and now my $5,000 boat is worth $8,000 all day long, and it doesn't matter how many years I keep it, right? So I've improved what I spent the money on. Same thing, cars and truck, everything, and there's even things that you can do, like when I had the business. One of the businesses we had we used trucks for deliveries and stuff. Yeah, Army Not Men, I'm done with you, bro. I mean, you're welcome to be here, but I don't play games, and you were playing games. I'm sorry. If you want to talk about it, I can, we can talk about it on Discord later. But so one of the things we did with the trucks were we needed trucks, right? We needed and at that time we were buying trucks. We were buying older trucks, keeping them nice, maybe fixing them up a little bit, and then we'd sell them like every 3 or 4 years. But what ended up happening is the local dealership had lease trucks, and they were like $100 a month to lease a pretty nice truck, brand new truck. And so I would initially what we would do is we'd go down and pay for the full 2 years lease up front with the signing fee and everything. Basically, just pay the whole thing, and then we would just control the mileage. I mean, all we are is delivering parts and stuff in town. We didn't take these things out of town or anything, so it was really easy for us to keep them below 10,000, 12,000 miles a year, whatever it was, and then we would just turn them in. But then we figured out that not only could we lease this truck for basically $3,000 for 2 years, right? But we could then sell it back to the dealer for more than the lease payoff was, and then we made money that way too. So not only did I get basically a free truck for 2 years, I made money on that truck, and I got a new one every 2 years. Now, I don't know that you can do that now, but this is yeah. Gotcha. I don't understand that, Daniel, but we'll talk about it when I'm not doing this. And that was, I mean, look, you just have to understand. You have to look at things, everything that you do from this point of view if you really want to be successful. That's the difference between people that are really successful and people that are just kind of successful, is that every advantage, man, like every dollar you save, everything that is worth it to save you money, right? Like it would not have been worth it for me to, like use a different gas supplier that was, an extra hour away, but saved me $20 a month. Yeah, fuck that. I'll just use the guy in town. I'll pay the extra $20 a month because when I need a gas bottle for the welder, it's there in an hour or the next day, and it's not 2 days or 3 days, for the guy that's, out of town to bring it to me. So there are things that there's what we call false economy, right? And one of the things that we always have to avoid is false economies. It's the same thing as guys say, well, I'm gonna buy this car and it's gonna save me money because I won't have to do any repairs to it, but their car payments are $1,000 a month. Well, you can buy a shitty ass car and not do $1,000 a month in repairs to it, right? So there's this idea of false economy, and it's something really, really important to understand, is the idea of what is it worthwhile and what is a false economy. And I spend a lot of my time avoiding false economies. I just do. And so whether or not you have that mindset and whether or not you're willing to go to those lengths, I don't know. But that's what you need to do. And now once you've gotten some money together, right? You've saved, made some good trades and investments and things like that. Now you got a little pile together. Maybe you got some equity in your house. I like telling people that buy the house no matter what, because at some point you're gonna have equity in it and you can tap into that. So let's just say, for example, I'll give you a real example that's happening right now. So I had 2 properties that have been paid off for the last 5 years. We just paid cash for them. No big deal. We're buying another business. To buy that business is 1.7 million. We can do an SBA loan for 80% of that. Okay, 10% down from us, 10% payment to the seller, and or 10% carried by the seller, 80% on the SBA loan. It's a sweet deal. Problem is that banks that do SBA loans, they don't want you to have any real estate property assets that are owned, right? That you don't have a mortgage against. The reason for that, and it has to be a specific amount too. The reason for that is if you did default on the loan, if it's an SBA loan, it's government. It's federally insured. It's a government insured loan. If you have a property, that property has to be used as security, and the bank would have to seize it. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to do any of that. They would much rather just send the government a bill than to come out, foreclose on the property, go spend 6 months of their time dicking around with you on your property. So, and I get that. So what we've had to do is we had to go out and we had to borrow money against both of those two properties, even though they've been free and clear for years. Now, should we needed to do that? No. What are we going to do with it? Well, we're pretty much just going to reinvest it in other things. We're going to buy more houses. We're going to use it as operating capital for the business, if assuming the deal goes through. But in any case, you have to look at all of these angles. You have to educate yourself, and you have to know how to work with good people. And I can't stress this enough. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're talking airplanes, boats, cars, trains, widgets, whatever your business is, I cannot stress enough, be good at it. Understand it. Understand why you're spending this money. Understand why you're making this money. And if you could make more, if you were more efficient, or you were dealing with different people, or you moved into a different area, or maybe you just need to change the business a little bit. And there are guys that go there are guys that go out and spend tons of money and never really make any. And on the other side of that, there are guys that have retirement businesses. Maybe a perfect example in just a second. That literally pay them more than they ever made working. Example: the guy that does the hats and stuff for he did them for the Haktua girl. He's doing mine. So he worked. He worked some, just like a factory job for years and years and years. Retires, mucked around doing some other small things, and then just one day, he bought a t-shirt machine, made a few t-shirts, sold them. People loved it. Built a website, bought a nicer t-shirt machine, bought a $40,000 hat machine when he made some money. Now he sells hats and all and shirts and everything to construction companies and various shops and stores and all that. Guys making more in his retirement gig in his garage at home part-time than he did working his straight job. But he's retired, and he has, he doesn't need that money per se, right? He has his retirement. So if he has a bad month, it doesn't kill him. It doesn't matter. Everything's, the bills are still going to get paid. And this is how that you need to structure your life. When you're young, you learn, you work hard, you become an adult, you act as an adult. Once you have a skill, a marketable skill, you market that skill, and you get top dollar for your skill, and you spend your money as wisely as you can, and you avoid wasting money as much as you can. I mean, look, we all waste money. I'm just going to be honest. Later in life, And later in life could be 35. It could be 40. It could be 50. I don't know. Later in life, if that's what you're going to do, you start a business, become a contractor. Pardon me. I don't know where that came from. It's probably because it was like freezing cold here. But yeah, buy the Haktua coin. That was funny. The Haktua coin was very interesting to watch happen. I didn't actually know about it until after it had happened, and that's gonna be people are gonna go to jail over that shit. Promise you. That somebody's going to jail, and I'm thinking the developers are, if they haven't already left the country. The only problem is I honestly think the developers left the country like the day it all happened, because the tracks are too clear on this one. What a rug pull that was. But anyway, guys, that's I kind of went on kind of a got on my soapbox a little bit there. They do need to go to jail. Daniel's on. Anson, Mikey Balls, any of you guys want to come up for a few minutes? Let me throw Mikey the link. I didn't do that. Where's Mikey at? Michelle's not here either. I was expecting Michelle to drop by, but that's okay. You bought gold on the dip. Look at that. All right, Mikey Balls, you got it. You're going to get rich off your hawk? Maybe. Maybe you will. Won't be able to join today, but I send the link. All right, Mikey Balls has the link. If someone wants to come up and chat, Anson Knowles, you'd be good. You've been awfully quiet. He's stewing somewhere. Daniel Zahn, $4.99, sends in. He's going to send me his portfolio and send you write-ups of the 20 or so I've done. Maybe one day you can bring me up and we can talk shop on the 2 I want to sell you. Well, maybe. Yeah, we'll talk in the Discord about it, though. I'm actively looking for deals. We've got we have a investment fund. My wife, I, and a few of our associates have an investment fund, and you can talk better than MB. Well, MB's terrible. So, and MB, the investment fund is buying like 50 houses in the Columbus area this year, and then next year we'll be buying more, probably somewhere else. We're probably going to do Columbus this year. I don't know where we'll do next year, but so it'll be. I've seen Daniel Zahn in here before. It's been a while. I don't remember if we've actually talked. I've just seen him make comments before. I don't think he's from. I think he might be from Sarah's. So Daniel Zahn, did you see me call him out on how little he knew the other night? That was great. That was fucking awesome. I'm actually surprised the Raging Tomato hasn't been in requesting the replay of the action. You hate Sarah? Oh, okay. Yeah. A lot of people seem to have strong feelings one way or the other. Well, I tore old MB up on Sarah's on the tomato. I tore him up. Yeah, that was great. So, oh, I don't know. Look, Jake's a nice guy, man. Jake is a nice guy. Jake means well. you know, Jake's a really good guy, and I think that it's I don't know. I think he wants to believe the best in people. Yeah, I mean, he's a nice guy. He wants to believe the best in people when even when people are not the best, and that's an admirable quality, to be honest with you. I try to do that, but I have a natural tendency to just listen and make snap decisions based on what I hear people saying, and the and at the end of the day, you can't. I mean, look, I get it. I'm an asshole to a large degree. I don't fight it. I don't claim to be any different than I am. But yeah, the but I am what I am, and I'll never claim to be anything else but exactly what I am. So yeah, Anson, are you coming up or what? Are you calling it a day? Where's Anson at? Anson Knowles is probably hanging out somewhere else. Yeah, yeah. Are we not men? Are we not men's a very specific kind of asshole? It's neither here nor there. I don't dislike the guy too much. I still have that attitude to find best out of people, but I've lately become tired because they fall for the same predictable mistakes and behaviors. Yes. Ticky Tack, you could come up too. I haven't talked. We haven't talked in a minute, so that'd be great if you wanted to come up. Send Anson the link. Yeah. I just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about my personality, but it just it if when I see people doing things that are just stupid, I don't know. It's like I at least have to try and warn them of the stupid, right? Does that make sense? Right. Um, I don't know. Thank you, Mikey, for sending Anson the link. We'll see if he comes up. He's been busy lately, so he might be at work. Everybody's at work. That's a problem with having people come up. Um, do I blame people who make the same mistakes because they are just dumb, though your personality grows on people? See, that's the thing. See, I believe that most of the time people are not making mistakes because they're dumb. I think most of the time people are making mistakes because they act out of fear. And of course, I have my favorite expression of fear is a spare change that will keep you broke. And I really do mean that because I see this literally all the time where people know that it's a good deal. They know it's the right thing to do, but they won't do it because they're they can't get out of the um they just can't get out of that cycle, right? Um the Did I download and take a look at those clips I made from your debate with him? I don't know that I did. I will look back and make sure. I've been too busy to do a whole lot off time, but I should have some time today to do it. The three of them are funny clips. Yeah, those are. I'll check that out. Are we not men is off until after the holidays? Yeah, I mean, tell you what, man, I'm pretty close to that. I agree. I see it every day as a real estate broker. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think uh, the thing about one of the things I find really interesting, right, is I find the like really successful brokers, or at least in my experience, right. So if I had a broker, I talked. Sorry, and let me. I had a broker who I talked to for like 2 years before I ever did business with him, and then I didn't talk to him again for another 2 years. That guy was nice to me every time he saw me. He never got tired of talking to me about anything. On the other side of that, I had a broker, and every time she called me, um, well, she called me every day when we first started talking about, hey, we're looking for this, we're looking for that, whatever. She called me every day, and I was like, yeah, you know what, we think the market's chilled. I don't think we're going to do anything for the next 6 months. We're going to see. But if something comes up, we'll jump on it, whatever. Stop calling. When I would see her out, or if we would be in, she would be part of a deal. I didn't really have anything to say, you know. And it was really kind of this like, well, you didn't buy anything from me, so what good are you, right? Whereas the other broker was like, yeah, man, whatever, buy when you're going to buy. And I find it's an interesting dynamic. Um, MB has such little real estate knowledge; it's wild. You'd think he'd know a little more, even just reading some shit. So it's interesting because when he was talking about real estate on the show and he was talking about tapping into equity and all that stuff, it was literally like out of a Red Pill Creator podcast. Like it was kind of like listening to a a catch reel, that get, so hey, if you want to know more, you got to spend $25 to become a member of the exclusive whatever, sponsored by whatever uh, group or whatever, or I don't know what they call them now, but you had to be part of their little, you had to pay, you had to pay to play, right? And it exactly sounded like just a regurgitation of that. The thing that if he had said my house, I had to pay cash for the property that I bought because it's a commercial property, it's a townhouse, there are 3 units, and so I couldn't do a conventional loan because conventionals won't loan on multi-unit rentals, then, or at least an FHA won't. Then I would have been like, yeah, okay, I get that. But when he told me that a conventional loan, that in the Philadelphia area, a conventional loan would not loan for more than 500,000, that's nuts. When that's below the average price of the property in your area, that's a lie. That's a lie. Like, I don't even have to look, and I know it's a lie, because if the average apartment in your area is 500 grand, a townhouse that's 900 grand should be on a conventional anytime, no problem whatsoever. No problem. So why would you make that shit up unless you just don't know anything about real estate and somebody else did the deal? I find it very interesting that there are 2 names on that when you research that property, there are 2 names that come up as being related to that property on the deed. That's very interesting. Fredo Fonzarelli, the background looks sick. Hey, thanks, man. I haven't actually changed it in a while. I used to change it like every week, but I haven't changed it in a while. I've been kind of lazy, had other things to do. I got a bunch of work to do, and it's been cold and rainy, so it hasn't gotten done. But yeah, Daniel Zahn says exactly because he don't know. That's right, he don't know. I know, right? Like, yeah, probably is. I think maybe it's his dad, maybe, or maybe he's got a business partner. Maybe it's maybe they bought it as part of because it looks like they bought 3 units. So yeah, we'll see. But there's nothing about anything he does that says that he's got a lot of money. Like, he's probably got some money, but he doesn't have like a lot of money. The other thing, Daniel, you're gonna like this. I asked him one day. I was just in a random chat, and he happened to be there, and I'm like, hey, I'm just curious, how much you got liquid? He's like, oh, I don't know, like 20 mil. It's nobody has 20 million liquid, bro. Nobody. Hey, Fredo, dude, if you want to come up and chat, man, I got time, and I'm up here all by myself today, so I'm trying to find somebody to jabber with. But but yeah, man, it was so weird the way he did that, right? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. It just didn't. I mean, why nobody I know has 20 million liquid, you know. I mean, I think, you start talking like, Mark Cuban probably has 20 million liquid. Yeah, right. And man, nobody keeps 20 million liquid. Nobody does. You own a company, you own a jet. Like, if I had $20 million, I'd own 2 jets, right? I mean, the tax write-off alone, worth it. I mean, you know, just got done with a move. All right, man. That's all good, Fredo. Um, I'm just having a good time, man. We're chatting here with Daniel. So, I got my diatribe out of the way. So we're just kind of chilling now. But yeah, that was the yeah. Nobody leaves that money sitting around, Daniel. You're right. And that's the thing. When he told me he had 20 million liquid, so I was actually kind of on board. I was kind of actually a little bit on board with what he was saying, for a while, because I was like, well, maybe he's got, maybe he's got a little bit of money, maybe he's helping people out, whatever. Um, but I asked him, so I was honestly expecting him to say he has like a million, he's got mill liquid, but if he really needed it, he could put his hands on like 15 or 20 pretty quick. That's what I was kind of expecting. I would expect that answer from somebody who, um, you know, portrays themselves as a multimillionaire. But then once he said that, I started paying attention to everything he said, and everything he said is just like dumb. It's just dumb as fuck, you know. I have a big chess set, therefore I'm a millionaire. I have this tiny little 10 by 10 pool, so I'm a millionaire. Who can have that but a millionaire? Well, fuck, anybody can. And then I nailed him to the wall on Sarah's, and I did it again on Jake's show, or I tried. Jake wasn't having it. Jake's a good guy. He wouldn't let me go all in. So, but Jake's pretty into the red pill kind of stuff that MB sort of parrots. Yeah. Yeah, 600K liquids, that's a good little chunk, right? Because you can basically, any kind of emergency comes up, you got it, you're good. 600, yeah, it's about right. 20 units, 3 houses under construction. Yeah, took 600K on a commercial on Alden Pro. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I don't keep that much liquid, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm actually subdivided. I've got a 20-acre parcel, with a house on it. I paid 220 for it. I'm about to the guy behind me, or on one side of the property, he's they just sold that property for two and a quarter. And I can build right next to it. I got my land, like his driveway runs right along my fence line, so I can actually use that road, to come to come in and basically have another property right there. And we're actually about to divide that. I've got the surveyors and the soil guys coming out. Um, yeah, I paid 220, so that's good for me. Um, but yeah, yeah, send me the info, man, over on Discord. But the I got I think we're going to get two and a quarter, maybe two and a half out of this house when I get it built. We're going to build a 7,000 square foot house. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, honestly, I think I could sell just a lot. I could probably sell just a lot for 250, 300 once I have a soil site on it. Clover Tech in the house. Man, it's been forever. Somebody get that man a link. I'll get him a link. Where is that Clover Tech dude at? I want that dude up here. Get up here, man. Where have you been, Clover Tech? There he is, right there. There he is. Daniel's on. I think I'm going to have 200 a square foot. No. I think we're going to be all in with the 7,000 square foot house, pool, and outbuilding. I think we're going to be at 850 to 900. Oh, I think we're going to be at. I think we're at about 100 and okay. I talk to a live chat just because it's fun and exciting. What kind of are you out shooting today? Selling for 500K? Yeah.
Yo.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah. Why would I not be?
I just make sure, man. You and Glenn Lawrence with your health issues, man. You scare me.
No, I've been good, man. I'm pulling out.
Yeah, you
Climbing.
seem to be
I'm climbing.
All right, cool. What's new and exciting with you, sir?
Oh shit, man, just busy. In case I don't get a chance, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
But yeah. Busy, man. This week I've had a lot of things around the house to do to get ready for all the Christmas festivity shit, whatever next week, of course. And then, there's all the prep and what, roughly about a month now we've got shot, and so that's getting real, and all the content stuff. I had a company reach out. Holy shit. I thought the whole gun thing was done for the year. And then I had a company reach out a couple days ago. They're like, oh shit, we need some shit done. You got one coming your way, on the way to you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Send it on. We'll do what we can.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I've been busy. I've just been we'll talk about it in just a second. Daniel's on. My build cost is about 180 a square foot. But it fluctuates a lot. I've had it as low as 115 a square foot, depending on who I use, which contractors I'm using, and how much of it I do myself. So, because I don't pay a lot of contractor commissions, because I act as my own GC most of the time. So anyway, Clover Tech, man, it's been a minute, dude. It's been a minute.
Well, some of us do a little more with our content than just fucking sit in the chair on the live stream. So, just saying, you guys over here in this space are fucking
but I
lazy.
don't have a range. If I had a range in my backyard, I would. And I've been doing my airplane stuff. I've been prepping to do my airplane stuff, which I'm getting that ready.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. No, I have actually.
Which is on hiatus, I hear, for like a month or something now. But
what's that?
Whatever.
Oh, are they all for a month? Wow.
Yeah, isn't it something like that?
Usually it's just like 2 weeks. It'll take 2 weeks.
Well, that's pretty common. It's pretty common for folks to take last week of December, first week of or whatever it is. Yeah, last week or so of December, 1st of January. Yeah, pretty common.
Last 2 weeks of December. Yeah, I'm actually this I may be back on tonight if I do my airplane stream. But it depends if I get the parts in the day. If I get the parts in the day, it'll be great, and I can do that. If not, I may jump on a panel tonight just for a few minutes, and then tomorrow I got to go out of town. I've got to look at this business that we're going to buy, and then I've got. What else? I'll be back Saturday, but I don't think I'm going to stream Saturday night because I'll have been gone all day. And
Yeah. Yeah.
don't stream Sunday. We'll stream Monday afternoon, I think. Tuesday's Christmas Eve. There's no streaming on Tuesdays anyway. And then Wednesday's Christmas, so no stream on Christmas. So it looks like probably just a few streams over the course. And so yeah. But yeah, dude, I've got so much going on right now. We're subdividing one of my properties. We're taking we're going to take, I think, 5 acres out of the 20 acres that's there and build a house on it. We're expecting to sell that for around 2.25 to 2.5. And that's going to be cool. And then I think we bought a house in Columbus. I think we might have bought a second one. I don't know. Then I've got so we're closed on that this week. The notary will be here tomorrow, sign all the paperwork. And dude, it just never ends. And we're buying this company and to do cool stuff. I can't talk about it yet, all NDA stuff. But it's I'm busy, man. I'm busy. For a retired guy, fucking busy.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Daniel Zahn, I am in the great state of Tennessee. The great state of Tennessee. Grand.
The other state that starts with a T, just saying.
Yeah. Well,
the other state.
The reason the other state that starts with a T exists and isn't part of Mexico is all because of Tennessee.
Yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
That's why we're called the Tennessee Volunteers.
Keep telling yourself that.
I don't have to tell myself that. That's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to.
You've been reading some fucking public school history books or something. That's all I gotta say.
No, man. You might remember this guy's name, Davy Crockett.
You know what? You know why he came to Texas? Because Tennessee didn't fucking want him. So you don't get to claim the motherfucker now.
Not true.
No, you don't get to kick the fucker out of Tennessee and then claim that Tennessee did shit. No.
He was governor. We didn't kick him out.
Now what did he say? What did he say? Because they treated him so shitty. What did he say? Famous quote.
I don't know of a famous quote by Davy Crockett that was anti-Tennessee.
Okay. But you didn't read a good history book. All I gotta say.
What's the quote?
Well, isn't he the one that said you can all go to hell? I'm going to Texas.
No, I don't believe that was him.
You sure?
Yeah. He also let's see, who's that other guy? Jim Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
Bowie knife.
Yeah, who got run off because he killed a dude.
Well, he was a gambler, so
all of Texas, dude. So Texas, it's crazy. So Texas took all of the ne'er-do-wells, the just almost scourge of the earth, man. Even William Travis was shunned because basically his wife run around on him, and he just up in the middle of the night. She got pregnant by another dude, and he's like, "Hey, fuck this." He was gone, and so he was probably one of the most upstanding people. It's just what was done to him, right? Back in that day, that wasn't good for your wife to be doing shit like that. Anyway, Sam Houston was a drunk, like a bad drunkard. Texas just took all of the Texas took all of the just like outlaw fucking people, man, and we kicked that ass. We whooped that ass.
The entomology,
with no help, by the way. With no help, by the way.
The entomology of the entomology of how the Tennessee Volunteers came to be was literally Davy Crockett was as near. I mean, history records a couple of different stories, but as near as I can really figure out is he just wasn't happy. His wife wasn't happy with him. He'd been gone so long. but the he had been gone so long playing governor and explorer and all of that his wife had issues with him, and
There's
he had,
Texas W's all in the chat. I'm just saying. There's Texas W's all. It says, but facts. Texas was its own country before it became a state. True.
yeah,
And
all of the Tennessee
Raging Patriot
volunteers,
confirms that quote, by the way.
All of the Tennessee volunteers that came and saved Texas ass were all people that were mean, angry, criminal, well, not criminal maybe, but definitely they were going there for a fight. That's what they wanted. So, whether or not I don't know whether or not, and I think that you can all go to hell. I'm going to Texas line was not because he was getting thrown out of Tennessee. It was because he really expected to be able to raise an army, and he did not actually. That one thing that was surprising is that as popular as Davy Crockett was, and he had raised armies before, or not, he'd raised a bunch of people to go fight people before. He didn't get the numbers to go to Texas that he was happy about. So, and I think that's where you can all go to hell.
Problem with they're talking about the blueies coming in and whatever. Yeah, it's not going to change the makeup of Texas. They're all going to specific places, and that's fine.
It's easier when you can corral them. I'll give you that.
Yeah, if you're not from Texas and not paying attention to Texas politics, you can throw that horse shit around all you want about Texas going blue. But the fact is, we've continued to flip seats, and they flip both ways, quite honestly. But for the most part, they flip red. And I'm not a two-party person anyway. Republican or Democrat, same shitty fucking wings of the same shitty fucking bird. So, like, I really don't care. The difference between I do agree with this. Degens defecting to Texas back then, the same as they defecting to Texas now. Yeah, that I would agree with. However, completely different class of Degens. The ones coming now are not willing to do the things that the ones way back then. They're more the outlaw persuasion of the Degens rather than the touchy feely. I need my safe space, which is what you get nowadays.
Yeah.
These were hard men that come to Texas, buddy. I will give them all that.
They fought an entire damn army. I mean, you can't stress enough that they fought an entire damn army and held off long enough.
Well, the significance of the Alamo is a lot greater than people give it credit. We do not win without the Alamo. The Alamo, those heroes held out the exact appropriate amount they needed to hold out. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Like the timing was, you could even call it, during the Revolutionary War, you listen to a lot of our founders and framers, and they talk about divine providence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could even say Alamo was divine providence in a way. Like, literally, it was. They had to hold out a certain amount of time, right, for Houston to get things in order and basically set the traps.
Yeah.
And that happened.
Yeah. Keep going. I'm going to.
Oh, you're fine. How did we fucking get on that anyway? We were talking about Christmas. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how we were talking about that. But I know Grid's not buying any land in Texas. That's a big mistake. He needs to be buying land in Texas. You'd be buying land here. Hell, for $200,000, you could buy a whole city here probably. Just cut the check, man. Be done with it.
I actually was gonna, because you had mentioned that there was land and acreage near you for sale, and I was at a reasonable cost, and I was going to have you scout out some for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can't afford to buy in Austin anymore.
Nah, shit's cheap here, man. Of course, I mean, I was looking because I was talking with somebody the other night. I forgot what come up, but something come up about whatever it is, median income and all this other stuff. I think we were talking about how disconnected, and I get so frustrated with this. This is why you start talking money, you don't fucking impress me, and the whole millionaire bachelor thing and whatever. I
Oh,
was
you missed
born,
out, bro.
raised, come up, still am, in a county that is below the U.S. average for household income. So like well below, like 10 grand or 12 grand or something below.
Hmm.
So I don't want to hear that you can't make it on $100,000 a year or some goofy ass shit. Like move your ass out of Austin or
I
fucking
tell people that
Miami or
all the
New
time, man.
York or LA or wherever the fuck you're at. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like getting back to the spirit of not just the folks that left and came to Texas and kicked that ass, but the people that just upped and loaded a wagon and migrated west and settled to west and conquered the fucking west for the country. Like, get a little bit of that spirit in you instead of just being a pussy and sitting around and
I hear
taking it
that
on the chin
all
and
the
complaining
time,
about your
man.
state and complaining about your laws. And I have respect because I know a lot of folks in the 2A fight that stay to fight, and that's cool. And that's not the
Mhm.
people I'm talking about. The people I'm talking about are the people that don't do shit but complain.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
but it
no, you're
stands
right,
to
man.
reason. It stands to reason if you don't have enough um, intestinal fortitude to repeat, I guess, a wrestling phrase there.
Testicular.
Testicular.
Testicular
Oh, it's
fortitude.
testicular fortitude. If you don't have the balls, you don't got the fucking sack, right? I'm trying to be all eloquent here. Fuck that. If you don't have the balls to stand up and fight for shit in your
If
be a
you ain't
part of
got
it and,
the
and put in
stones.
the work, then it stands to reason you probably don't have the means to get up and fucking move either, you know?
I hear that all the time. People will say, "Well, I can't move there. I can't move there. Oh, my family's here." Well, your family moved here from somewhere else too. So,
Move your
whatever.
fucking family with you. People do
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
You think when they loaded up the goddamn wagons back in
Beverly damn hillbillies.
1843 or whatever the fuck it was, you think they didn't take grandma and grandpa and aunt and uncle
Beverly
and whoever?
hillbillies, bro.
Fuck yeah, they did. Hell yeah.
Raging Patriot. Nashville is a commie redneck city. Well, it's not as bad as Austin. Memphis
Tennessee,
is, Memphis is probably as bad as
I
Austin.
will say this: Tennessee got some fucked up strip club regulations. I will tell you
Really?
that. Yeah,
I don't go to them, so I don't know what to
yeah,
expect. So.
that's what I hear. I haven't been either, and that's part of the reason I hadn't been is because they've got those. But
I don't know what.
I just go for the music and the chicken wings, just so everybody
There you
knows.
go.
But
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Um. So, what was I going to say here? I hear all the time that people won't move because of X. I can't get a job. Well, you didn't have a job before you got the one you got, so go find a new one. I can't move
yeah,
because all my family's here. Well, you know what? Airplanes take off every day. Cars drive every day. There are roads where you are going, so they can move. They can come see you. And just I've heard all of the excuses when people talk about when they can't move, and that was actually one of the things that really I think that's one of the things that really separates relatively and even very successful people from people who just whine a lot. Um, is they're willing to do the hard things, right? If it requires you moving um, somewhere to do what you need to do, then you should do that. I actually have a friend of mine who was he was I think I can't say his name. All right, whatever. Um, he had an ongoing business, and if he had moved out of town, it would have been better for his business. But he didn't want to live outside of town because his wife didn't want to live outside of town, and because of all this other stuff. And so, rather than live out, an hour from a big city. I mean, there's still small towns nearby, but instead of living an hour away from the big city, he lived in a smaller town, maybe 20 minutes from the big city, 30 minutes from big city, and was miserable and could not take his business to the next level because for him to do the things he needed to do. He had to get in his car, drive an hour. You know, if it rained or whatever, he couldn't do what he needed to do, or you know, it's just terrible.
So I want to chase this for a second.
Yeah.
So was his problem that his balls was in his wife's purse, or was his problem was that he used his wife as an excuse? Because there's two types of men that pull that shit.
I think
And
his
I run
balls.
into this.
I think his balls were in his wife's purse. So specifically, what he was doing is he was trying to be a gun tuber, and he actually had a place where he could go.
That's awesome.
He had a place where he could go and build a
Yeah.
range, and that's what he
Yeah.
needed to
Yeah.
do. He
Yeah.
needed a range outside his back door.
It's awesome you fucking say that. I had the same conversation with somebody earlier.
Mhm.
There's an individual out there that, and I don't know him that well. I'm not going to mention his name just simply because I
Mhm.
don't know him that
That's
well.
right.
But he's looking to break into the whole gun tuber thing or whatever. He gets essentially a paid fucking way to SHOT Show next month
Wow.
on the table. He comes back and he's always made the excuse that I can't afford it and I just can't afford to go and and that is the fucking show if you're gonna be a gun tuber.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's where you break in. And so prime opportunity, great fucking opportunity, the max, right?
Yeah.
He's one of these that is constantly bitched about, oh, I can't get the shot, it's expensive, I can't go, I can't, if I could only blah blah blah. It's laid on the fucking table. All he's got to do is take it. And I talked with a guy that laid the offer on the fucking table this morning, and he's like, yeah, he called me and said that, yeah, he talked to his wife, and that, he just couldn't be going away from the house that long. That he had concerns about her being able to handle the kid, one fucking kid, the kid. And I'm like, holy shit. And that was my question to him. I said, so is he a guy that his balls are in his wife's purse, or is he a guy that just likes to fucking make excuses and he's using his poor wife as an excuse?
Yeah, that's same kind of deal. I personally think his balls are in his wife's purse. She doesn't want to live outside of town, so he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to do that. He needs a range in his backyard, and he could. I mean,
Fuck
I've
yeah.
seen some of his competition videos. They're really good. I've seen it. He's done some stuff. It's not bad. I think he's got a shot, right?
Yeah.
Not going to happen, bro. Matter of fact, he hadn't even mentioned shot. I've forgotten about SHOT Show. If I had, I don't have anybody to give me a ticket this year, but I would go.
Well, I will tell you that your wife's got to be supportive. That's for
Oh
sure.
yeah, yeah. But
You
even if
can't have,
so,
and not just your wife, but honestly, any people that are close to you in general, whether that
Mhm.
be, extended family or friends or anything else like that.
Yeah,
You've got to have that at least initially.
yeah.
You've
But
got to have that support.
Ticky Tack lays it out here, man. Even if you decide that you can be a gun tuber in your area without disrupting your family life, you have to go to SHOT. You need the hero pictures next to Taryn Butler and all the other cool dudes and the gun bunnies. You got to get all of the pictures. You got to for your for your intro reel, for your hero reels, all that kind of stuff. Why wouldn't you do that? Like
Mhm.
that's actually, if I were going to go to SHOT Show this year, which I would like to, but the last time I had a pass in was through Thunder Beast, and I've made some very critical statements of some of the folks there to people that we both know, and I'm not sure that I still can do that.
Eh.
Um, but
Eh.
yeah.
There's so much back and forth and everything that goes on, and then there's so much that has to do with restructuring of companies and people come
Mhm.
and go and other things that I
Well,
don't know.
I know
I don't
Zach
see
and
it.
Ray pretty well, and Ray, the minute they passed the pot law in Colorado, that's all he wanted to do was smoke pot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
And
that can be a problem. Addiction is a
and I
thing.
was critical of that. And Ray, at the time, Ray was still the number 2 guy over there.
Yeah.
So whatever. I don't know if you,
The dead air guys are funner to hang out with anyway. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't have anyone to give me a ticket, so I can't get in. So I have no
well,
affiliation.
I can't add any people to my roles at this point, but
Yeah.
I do as media. You have the option of a crew, so
Mhm.
um, keep that in mind moving forward.
I could probably make a case for me to be media if I wanted to.
You would almost have to to get in for free. I know even some industry people that, I mean, if you've got friends in the industry and you can coattail with them, cool. But if you're
I
going to
prefer
try
to
to go in as industry or something like that, and first of all, media is all fucking access. So media is really what you want anyway. It's a little harder to do if you don't know somebody. If you're trying to do it on your own, out on
no,
an
no.
island somewhere.
I would send you a
But
message if I wanted to do it. I would send
yeah,
you a message and say, "Hey, Clover, bro,
yeah, let's do this. Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
got to in this too."
It's totally fucking, yeah, it's totally fucking doable. I mean, there would be a little work involved on your part, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what Ticky Tack was saying. That when he said if even if he wasn't going to be a gun tuber, he'd still go to do videotape
Yeah.
and do all that.
Hmm.
Yeah, you kind of got to be media to do that. But and that's kind of the thing is there is a certain amount of work, and it's not overbearing or overwhelming that is that has to be done, but
Hmm.
um yeah, I got some friends that are in the industry. Shout out to Aegis Gun Care. If anybody wants to know, go look them up. Great shit. That's all I use for gun cleaning, and well, that's all I use for my day to day gun cleaning. Put it that way. But anyway, um, they um, they tried to go, and they're obviously they own a business, right?
Yeah.
An industry related business, and even for them to attend, I forgot what the fuck it was, but it was like 3 grand or something for them
Wow.
just to go, not to have a booth, not to exhibit, right? So the way to go is media because we don't pay shit. I mean, up until a
Yeah.
certain point, and then
Yeah.
after that it cost, and then after that it um you can't fucking get in. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know where the deadlines are, to be honest with you.
Eh, maybe I'll have you. Maybe I'll DM you later and see what's up. I don't know. I think I'm too busy to go. When is it?
Um, let's see. Well, so if you was to coattail with me, it would be the 20th because that is range day, and 20th
Mm,
is media industry day to range with media. So general public don't get to fucking go to that. So, so it'd be 20, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So that whole week of the 20th.
yeah. Yeah. It's I might try. I'll take a
No,
look.
Boule, I do not do. Aegis is a very small company. Rod and Shelley, great people, known them forever. And I do not have any. I don't make a dime um, off of their shit. Nothing else. Nothing. They do send me some stuff. They keep me supplied with cleaning stuff. But outside of that, I don't make a fucking dime. They don't have the margins. Small company, just trying to get by. Small company, great product, just trying to get by.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tiki Tack says he could pass for media. He's got his DSLR, stabilizer, boom mic with a mobile audio recorder, really
Nobody
sells
does
good
that.
image.
Yeah, and I'm gonna walk
No,
into a booth with my fucking cell phone and my wireless lav mics,
yeah,
and like they'll treat me like royalty the same as they would anybody else. Like those days are over, dude. When I first started going, it was that way. Like fuckers look like Hollywood
Indiana,
production crew. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And some
Indiana
still
Jones
do.
running around there with his bearers, equipment bearers and stuff.
And it's like, holy shit. And but now it's all fucking dude, it's all cell phone. Like somebody might have a monopod or a tripod or something if they don't have anybody there to hold the camera or hold the phone for them. But outside of that, yeah, travel light. That's the thing is if you If you're going and you're trying to cover a bunch of ground, and there's a lot of ground to cover, you're not going to see everything, and it will never happen. Um, Especially if you're trying to cut deals, make money, other things. And but the more you have to tote and haul around, I've even cut my backpack size down.
Mm,
Um, I originally went and I had, had the gear and I had the gimbals and I had the other stuff and it was all, and I'm like, okay, screw this. And so I would check a second bag with the coat check because you could do that. And outside the media room, they had like a gear check, coat check type place. And it's like, okay, I'd take a second bag and I would only keep in my backpack what I absolutely needed like throughout the day. And if there's anything special, I would just go back to coat check and get it. And then that's moved to just completely downsizing the bag altogether. So I've
mm,
got almost like a little messenger bag, and like that is fucking it, dude. That is
huh.
it because you do not realize 5 days of walking 14, 15 miles a fucking day, whatever the hell it is. It's crazy. It's definitely double digits.
Yeah,
Um,
it takes a toll, man.
the ounces or pounds, right? Is what they say. So it definitely adds up.
Yeah, it's not dissimilar from when we did SEMA. So I used to do SEMA and SHOT and PRI all every year. So SEMA is
Yeah,
October,
it's the same. Yeah.
PRI is right now.
Mhm.
And so I would get basically like a month between most of them, and it hurt, man. It would hurt you, but
Yeah, Boulay, the Aegis logo is one of the best logos ever to exist. It's pretty sweet.
yeah, interesting. I've been doing gun stuff lately.
Good.
I've got some Juggernaut um, lowers that I'm building up. I've
Uh-huh.
got a
Uh-huh.
ADM um, lower up matched upper and lower set that I need to build up.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I found, so I thought I had one, but I forgot where it was. I found it the other day. A 6.8 arc upper.
Oh, nice. Don't you love it when you find shit? I've been doing part of what I was talking about with around here is just cleaning up, organizing,
Mm,
reorganizing, building some shit to better organize. Just like I said, getting stuff ready for festivities
yeah,
next week. And holy shit at the stuff. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot I had that. Oh fuck, I forgot I had that. there's
yeah,
all kinds of shit.
yeah. No,
It's like
that's
it's
it
like
exactly.
it's like Christmas, and it is Christmas, so it's fitting, I guess.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, I was literally like, just I needed to clean everything up because I need to get my um, well, my press is messed up, right? So I had my press dialed in, and then I added the bullet feeder, and now it's not dialed in anymore. My powder measure is not working right. Crimps aren't, I have high and low crimp, not crimps, primers,
Mm.
and my resizing's been a little bit off. So I'm like, I mean, I needed to mess with that, and to do that, you know, I needed a little bit more room on my table than I normally have because I've got a bunch of crap on there. And my kid has been literally decimating my gun cabinet, or the gun cabinet with all the ARs and cool stuff in it.
Just disorganizing, or
Oh man, he's been like LARPing nonstop, and I have this AK pistol, and I have no. What's funny is I have no ammo for this gun. I don't even know why I own this gun, but I ended up somehow with this AK
well,
pistol.
you've got my address. It needs a good home.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Uh, I don't even know why I own this thing, but I've got like a few mags, and and he loves that thing. Like he absolutely loves it. He'll love it more when I take um the little buttstock thing off of it. Um, so it's just a true AK
the
pistol.
brace.
The brace, yes. When I take that off and turn it back into a real pistol, he'll love it even more. But he loves that thing. He puts on body armor. He gets the helmet out. He's got the AK, and he clears my garage 3 or 4 times a day. And but then he puts it all back. And he's been getting he loves the 1911, and he loves my Dan Wesson 357 revolver. And he just like he'll get it out and he'll just hang out with it, and then he kind of puts it back, but not really. The revolver he puts back really well because he has like, I don't know, he likes that gun a lot. But like, I just got mags stacked everywhere. I walked out in my garage one day and there's mags all over the floor where he was doing like, drills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are these mags out? Like, we would never use these mags. And he's like, I don't know. I just, whatever.
Give them something to swap, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's what it was. And so, and he likes metal mags. So he had like all of the 20 round metal mags that I would never actually use in an AR. He had out.
Yeah. He likes to hear the sound of them when they hit the floor.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
He thinks he's in Vietnam or something. Who knows?
Well, that is unique. Yeah. Yeah.
And so he's just out there LARPing, and he just
That's
makes
funny.
a huge mess. And
Eh,
then I have to organize it.
yeah. There's worse things, I guess.
No, I got to. I mean, honestly, if he was going to do something, that's that's on the cool end of the scope.
I think that's way better than sitting in front of a fucking TV on a video game. Personal
Yeah, well,
opinion,
that's the thing is I've been after him about watching YouTube videos literally all day every day, which was weird since I make them, but
yeah, right.
And he'll sit there and just watch
random. Fuck, he needs to watch mine all day every day. Maybe I'll get some views. Holy shit!
I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna make him do that.
Man.
That's a solid point. But but it's one of those things, man, where he's just like, I mean, he's on the verge of being really cool. He just doesn't know it.
All right. The coolest people are the ones that don't know they're cool, though. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah. He just doesn't know he's that cool. And he knows how to put he's got it down. Like, he knows how to put the body armor on. He knows how to run the drop rig. He's got the helmet with the chin strap and everything just perfect. I mean, I'm telling you what, shit goes down tomorrow, my boy's got you.
Yeah.
He's got you. He's there. And but at any rate, so I was cleaning, I had to put everything back, and it was all in disarray. He had the 9mm stuff where the 223 stuff should be, and he had the 6.5 Grendel is out of place and all this stuff. And I thought that I had a 6.5 arc. I thought I had the arc, but I didn't know that I did, right? Like, I was like, yeah, I kind of remember having it.
Yeah. I understand.
I bought a bunch of ammo, and I thought maybe I was just buying the barrel, and I just never got the barrel. Maybe the barrel never came in, and it slipped through the cracks, and I just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
But then I was like, it was hiding behind my 308, or pardon me, my 6.5 Creedmoor long range upper for the 308.
Yeah.
And because the scope and everything, it literally hid.
Yeah,
completely hid the arc upper, and I was like, "Oh, look, there it is."
Mm-hmm. I have that all the time. That something is put just right where you look in that spot 15 fucking times and you don't see it. And the 16th time, you're like, "Holy shit, there it is!" Like, I see it now.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
It's funny. It's funny. Doing this for so long, and you get people out in the chat, or you get whatever, they'll say, "Hey man, do you have this, or do you have that, or do you," or even in real life, I'm down at the gun shop or whatever, and I'm like, I gotta think for a minute, usually, regardless of what the fuck it is, and I'm like, I think so, and they're like, "You fucking what? You think so? Like, what the hell?" And it's like, yeah, you don't understand the plight at all. Like,
the
collectors are gonna collect, baby. That's all I tell you.
Yeah. That's accurate, man. I bought the IWI DE2. I think I told you that last time you were on the show. I haven't even shot it yet. Still new in the box. The mags fit the Masada, which is cool.
The mags for
But
what?
the mags for the DE2,
Oh, okay.
it fits. They're the exact same mag
Yeah.
as
Right.
Masada.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
handy. That's handy because I got a lot of Masada mags, and the
It's a great
it
handgun.
really was. It's really a cool deal. What's up, Flow State? How you doing?
I like the
Um,
Masada.
I like the Masada a lot. I haven't shot it yet, but I think I'm going to like it.
I'm more intrigued, and I haven't had a chance to play with one, and I hopefully SHOT Show coming up, I'll get a chance. That new
Do a
enhanced
bundle.
Jericho is pretty pimp.
That's what. Yeah, that isn't that. That's the DE2, the Jericho 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is the enhanced though. Yeah,
Oh, the enhanced.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I don't know if mine's enhanced. I don't know how to tell, but I picked it up. Let me read this real quick. $1.99 from Daniel Zahn. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Details are in Discord for real. Check out when you can. Yeah, man, I'll do it. I look at all that stuff and I appreciate. Man, if we can do business, we'll do business. I'm in the business to do business, I guess. But but at the end of the day, man, I do forget what I have. I do, and I'm like, do I have that? I think I've got that. And then I'll go find. I'll have to go look to figure it out. So the Grid One has grenade in his hat. Clovertac has pew pew in his beard. That's probably true.
I'll never
Um,
tell.
I just figured out that I have two versions of the Ruger 2245 Light. I have the one with the satin kind of aluminum colored
Hmm.
barrel shroud with the grooves in it, and then the I have another one that's all black that doesn't have the grooves in the barrel, the shroud, but it still looks cool. I think it's got holes in the barrel shroud. It doesn't matter, but I just realized I had two of those. I didn't realize I didn't know I had two of those, but I do.
Ain't nothing wrong
Now I
with
know.
that. Yeah,
So
yeah. I would Flow State to the Stoker ST9. Still the best value on the market. I don't know. It's subjective. I wouldn't say best, but I would say that the Stoker ST9 is definitely a good handgun for the money for sure.
So I've been seeing a lot of people comparing the Gershon to the 92. What do you think about that?
It's better. Yeah, the
Is it
Griffon
better?
Regard. Oh fuck yeah, than a standard 92 for sure. And even the X
Well,
series, I think it's even better than those.
no.
The Griffon is more of a Brigadier.
Hmm.
When you make the comparison, you would have to make it more to the Brigadier
Hmm.
than just the 92.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot more,
I've seen a lot of
beefier.
people comparing it. Definitely the Gershon's fancier for sure.
Some of the models are. They do have some just plain black, black on black on black, whatever models
Mhm.
and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Yep. Now I'm
definitely.
hearing. Um, and I've got a great relationship. Obviously, if you follow the channel at all, you know that with EAA, and
Hmm.
so I get the hands on and play with a lot of Gerson stuff. So not to shit on them, of course, because I don't really know. But Rock Island Armory is a company that I've really fallen out of favor with over the last few years. They were,
You have fallen out of favor
20,
with.
yeah, 15, 20
Huh.
years ago. I would have told you 1911s are solid as anything, this, that, and the other.
Mm.
They've extended their product line and they've got into a little, some semi-auto 20, some little 22s and some other handguns and some
Mm.
revolvers and some different things that I just are not stacking up. Um, and then the problems that they're having and the customer service with that and just a lot of different things. It just seemed like it's falling apart, and I
Interesting.
haven't been happy with them. But they've got a new 92 variant or copy or whatever you want to call it out. I don't know the name off the top of my head of it.
Hmm.
But there's some people that are saying some good things about it. So I mean, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
But you've got
Um,
what? You got those, them two, and then Taurus, I guess, is the only three. Beretta Gerson, New Rock Island, and then Taurus, of course, has the PT92, which I think they've named it something different now. It's no longer the PT92, and those are solid, man. If you don't know the history,
yeah.
Taurus basically bought out Beretta's machinery and everything
Yeah. Yeah.
else way back in the day. So
Yeah. I remember that.
now to say that a Taurus is a Beretta, you're fucking stupid. And I do have people that make that argument. Oh, Taurus is just as good because it is a Beretta.
So
You think that they're still using the same fucking equipment they used 40 years ago? You think they're using the same metallurgy and they have the same quality control and everything else is Beretta? You've lost your fucking mind, right?
yeah.
And
So
I'm not dogging Taurus. I own PT92s. I love them. I love that style handgun. They're iconic.
yeah, I had a PT92, but I
Yeah.
had a PT92 in 1991,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably 92,
Back
something
when
like
it
that.
was the only copy you could get. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 it really was, and it never really. It was they had like the a lifetime unconditional forever warranty on it,
Yeah, that's no
guaranteed.
more. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they needed it because mine never really did work that well. I mean, it was okay, but compared to the
Yeah.
Beretta, it wasn't Beretta enough. Um, but they didn't matter because they had that unconditional warranty. You could just send it back. And
Yeah.
actually, I had mine sent back a couple of times. They got it working pretty good. But there was another guy, same gun store. He had it sent back, and it took so long that the guy, I think he forgot he owned it, and his number changed or something. The gun store couldn't get a hold of him, and the day that gun store closed, I'm promise you that gun was in the safe of that store.
That sucks.
Yeah, is what it is, man.
I've never had a problem out of anything Taurus that I own.
Yeah.
Never.
See, I'm
Never.
in that boat. I'm in that boat with
Um
most of the guns I
my
have.
my dad has, my brother, one of my
Mhm.
brothers has.
Mhm.
Obviously I've worked through a bunch of different, I say, quote unquote worked. I've never gotten paid, been on the payroll, but worked through a
Mhm.
lot of different gun shops and stuff. And so I've seen numerous issues and all of that. But personally, I've never had an issue. I guess I've just been lucky. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
But I'm that way with everything. It very rarely do I have any issues with my guns. Very, very rarely. And I'm talking about there's things that are just known to be problem children. And like I've
Yeah. Well,
never had a
Keltex.
problem. So
I've never had a problem out of a single Keltec I've had, but
my
everybody I know has.
my gripe with Keltec is aesthetically they suck ass. If they would refine their features just a little
Just
bit,
a little bit.
I could be on board with it. But they're like a fucking 3D printed piece of shit. Look, they look horrible. They're horrible,
Coming from the guy who likes high points.
they're an innovative. Yeah, but I recognize that, and so, but the
Okay. All right.
that they also feel terrible. You know what I mean? Not only
Yeah.
do they look terrible, but they feel terrible as well. High Point's a big, huge chunk of mass. Um, but
I love my
Keltec,
RDB though.
I will give Keltec props though, right? Like I could go back and forth. Like I don't absolutely hate. I don't think on much of any brand or any company or any particular model. Um, but as far as innovation, I think Keltec is consistently innovative. You
I
know,
mean, I love my RDB. That thing is amazing. But everyone I know that has a new Taurus, especially the G2 or whatever it was, um, had problems with it. And the funny thing is that at my local gun store, they stopped selling them to women or stopped
the
recommending them
G,
to women. Obviously, they would
well,
sell
the
it.
newest is the G4, so that was a
Yeah,
while ago. The
yeah,
G2.
whatever their
Well, see
little compact female gun
what
was.
what they did is Taurus come out with the Millennium.
Mm-hmm.
The Millennium, with the PT-111, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But the Millennium was horrible. It was so fucking terrible grid.
Mm.
And so they after some years of dealing with that, they revamped it a little bit, and that's what become the G2. So it was a horrible design to start with, right?
Mm.
Then they went into like the G2C, maybe. I don't remember if they went into the G2C or into the G3 and then the G3C, but either way, starting about the G3, the Gen, the Gen 3, um, there was a lot of design changes between the Millennium and the G3, and it started getting a little better. Those are fairly reliable, fairly solid. I would say that would be a decent budget pickup for somebody out there, if you were looking for such a thing.
Mm.
And then now they moved into the G4, and I don't have a lot of experience with the G4. It's one of them things where it's just an extension of the Millennium of the G2 or the G3, right? Like it's kind of like a
Yeah.
Glock. I don't get excited about Glocks really. I don't have a problem with Glocks. I own many, but I just don't get too excited for them. And the same way with
Yeah.
the Taurus at
Some
this
kind of
point,
deal.
you know.
Yeah, some kind of deal. What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I guess I just don't really have that much of a problem really with a lot of the guns I have. But I also, I mean, I
I
clean
don't do
them. I do
anything
stuff.
crazy, and mine are well maintained as well. So,
Yeah,
like, I don't know if that plays a factor with some shit that
I'm sure
some
it
people
does.
do out there. Like, they're trying
Yeah.
to do stuff, and that aggravates me. And I don't have a problem with it. It's good and it's bad. But a lot of my videos, um, I'll get flack because you should do this and you should do that. And I'm like, who the fuck does that? Why would I put out a video doing something crazy off the wall with this gun that nobody out there is going to do? Like the whole burn in test, the burn down, right? Oh,
Mm,
today we're gonna put 8,000 rounds through this gun, and it's like, fuck, people ain't gonna put that through it in their lifetime. What the hell are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
and that's cool for a video and entertainment and whatever, but are you really gonna get any real world use value out of
Yeah.
that,
No, I
right?
agree. I
And
agree.
so I try to stick more with, let's be realistic with what people are actually going to do, when they take it out to the range or they do this or they do that, and leave the entertainment for other people. I'm not very fucking entertaining anyway.
Okay. Fair enough. I I I don't know, man. I've just been playing with my ARs. Like I forget that I have pistols all the time, and I'll find it. I'll be like, "Ooh, look at that. That's cool."
I find pistols often in magazine pouches of rifle bags that I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah,
forgot that was there.
yeah,
I'll take a rifle out, be like, oh okay, I'm gonna take this out and play with it, and
yeah,
yeah, open a pouch and I'm like, holy shit, look here, forgot I had that.
yeah, yeah. It's an interesting deal, right? Like so I wanted. There's a couple of guns I wanted that are really hard to find now. I wanted the Grand Power 2011. I really want one of those. Kind of hard to find now.
Hmm.
What they call it, the Excalibur or something like that. And but now that everybody's doing a 2011 now, it's like
Yeah,
all
the
the
Grand
rage.
Power Excaliburs are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Grand Power's got some pretty good stuff. Um, One of the ones I really like, they with their P series handguns, and I don't even remember. This is the bad thing. I don't even remember the model on it, but the 10 millimeter they've got that is the rotating barrel, rotating lockup. Oh,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's so cool, like the Berettas.
the Beretta, the
Mhm.
PX9. I had
Yeah,
a PX9 and PX4, and I mine was in 45, and I hated it. I really wanted one in 9 millimeter. I've never bought one in 9 millimeter, but I really wanted it in nine for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah. I've got in those Grand Powers. I've got the
I had the
22s. I've got a
PX4.
22, but it's a fixed barrel, of
Mm,
course. But I've got a 380 and a 10 millimeter
mm,
that are both the rotating barrel in the
hmm.
Grand Power, and
Yeah,
they're pretty solid.
I like the. I'm really happy with the. I have the PX four carbine as well. I like it a lot. So, but it doesn't have the rotating barrel. It's
Mhm.
just a it's more like a 1022 is an as a 9mm than anything else.
Right.
I like that thing though. It's pretty
Uh,
cool. It's the 16-inch barrel
the
law enforcement model.
people out there talking about me twerking. You got to have an ass to be able to twerk, and I was not
Well, he's yeah,
when God was dishing out asses. Somebody jiggled the spoon or something. Apparently with me, because I did not get.
yeah. Well,
If I
I mean,
could get some of the fat out of the gut and inject it back there, maybe might talk. But
yeah.
if you don't get plastic surgeon, send them my way.
I have been, um, I have been actually really. I've had to step my workouts up to 2 a day, and I'm
Fuck
actually.
that. I ain't got time for that.
What's that? You don't have
I
time for
said,
that?
fuck that. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah,
2 a day. Shit. Fuck
2 a day.
that.
Well, I'm doing like 30,
Too good to
45.
get 2 a week. What are you talking about?
Look, doing the dishes for your wife doesn't count as a workout. I'm just want to put that out there.
Yeah, but doing your wife, that totally counts.
That that does totally count. That does totally count. That fair enough. Fair enough. I will concede that point. Um, yeah, I had to up my workout because I just I don't get enough done anymore since it's cold and all of that.
Yeah.
It's just been a pain in the butt.
Well, that's
So
one of the reasons with the weather and other stuff, we broke down and got a gym membership. So got
yeah,
that too. But if the weather's decent enough and I've got things to do, I'm out and about and around.
yeah,
So, I do a lot of CrossFit type stuff almost, just fucking working around here. You're lifting and pulling and dragging and toting and whatever. So,
I get it.
you've seen, I'm sure the videos where it's like, bodybuilders versus farmers and,
Hmm.
Marines versus ranchers and that sort of stuff. Like, there's something to be said for just getting out and been fucking getting outside and doing shit. You know,
Have you ever watched those videos by that Anatoly guy, the Russian guy who started out working with just like junk that he found on his farm?
is he the guy that
He
pretends
pranked
to
all the
be
weightlifters.
a
Yeah,
janitor
yeah,
and
that's
like
him. Yeah, yeah,
bets
yeah.
people
That's
and shit? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's awesome, dude. So good.
yeah.
Um, but I love that when he does that, and I watched some of his like early videos where he was on the farm, and dude is like he's literally like it's just trash. Now I don't know how much of that is a gig, like
Yeah.
it's hard to tell whether
Well,
he's being like real about it or what. But
haven't
anyway, still funny.
and I mean, if you work at a field where you're doing that, I mean, the oil field comes to mind, that type of thing. Um, but there's a big difference between I'm going to go to this gym and I'm going to lift these weights, and actually doing manual labor, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like doing manual labor, you're working out the muscles that you need to work out for the things that you fucking do. Like,
Oh
so
yeah.
it is
100%.
a difference. One of the things I've been focusing on and um, going to the gym, I've been on the treadmill a lot. Um, and that's just prep for shot, right? Like at shot, I'm gonna have to be able to walk 15 fucking miles a day, you know.
Yeah.
And thankfully, there's not a lot of uphill, downhill, even though I do adjust all of that constantly on the treadmill. There's a lot of speed changes. Sometimes you're in a hurry and you got to walk faster. Sometimes there ain't no
Mhm.
running or anything, but walking fast, walking uphill, things like that. And I've been working on that a lot just to get ready for shot because there's a lot of walking at all the shows, but like shot
Yeah.
is the fucking Mac Daddy. Like, when
Yeah. I'm
you
gonna
are
check my
walking
schedule.
15, walking some of these other shows, they last over the weekend, right? They may be like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, three
Oh,
days
dude.
instead of
Some is
5.
all week.
Well, I'm talking about the gun things like the NRA and the
Oh
goals and
yeah.
the, Great American Outdoors and things like that. A lot of those are like the 3 day. And, you might walk, I don't think you hit double digits. I don't think you could hit double digits if you tried, probably. No point.
Right.
And so, and it's only 3 days, but shot, like, you could do more than 15 a day. 15 miles a day a shot, depending on what you were doing, very easily. And it's for 5 days, and it's just, and then you're doing that also on very little sleep. You know what I mean? Um, you're basically only getting one meal a day, and that's dinner, in the evening. Um, you might get 3-4 hours sleep if you're lucky, a night. It's crazy. So you gotta get your body in shape. I've been on up my vitamin regimens and my other thing, or my wife has. I hadn't done it because I don't got a fucking clue about all that shit. But she's upped all the supplement regimens and things like that for not just for immunity, but also to try to help with dealing with a strenuous week like that. So that's where my workout's been lately. But that's a lot of that is because coming out of the issues I was having, holy shit, man, the gym about 3 times there almost killed me.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
went to the,
say, and
like,
I gotta kind of wrap up here in a minute, but I was gonna say, man, there for a minute, you were like going to the hospital quite a bit. Between you and Glenn,
yeah,
one of you was always in the
yeah.
damn emergency
Well,
room.
I had a high blood pressure thing happen that, like, for weeks, no telling how many strokes I nearly had.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And then we got that corrected, but it got overcorrected to the point that my blood pressure was so low that I'd try to do anything and I'd fucking nearly pass out,
Yeah. I'm
So,
gonna have to jump off, guys. I've got to go pick up my kid. It's that time anyway. But you guys, I want you guys to have a great rest of your day. I'm going to send you over to Chaotic Truth. Clovertac, thank you for being on the show today. I really
always,
appreciate
man.
it. And I'd really love to talk about working out and stuff because I think there's a lot of really good stuff there.
Discord.
Fredo, get me in soldier shape. Yeah, man. I mean, I've got to I've got a lot of work to do to get my range of motion back in my legs. I thought I was really a lot further along than I was, and I am not. So great show today, guys. Really appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Flow State, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to hang out with you and say hi and all that crap. But I may or may not be back on. If not, I will see you on Thursday or Monday, maybe. We'll see. You guys have a great rest, or Saturday. I'll probably see you Saturday. If I don't, I'll see you Monday. Have a good rest of your day. Look for the alerts, and be cool. Wear glasses if you need them, and get off my lawn while you listen to Andrew Wilson laugh his ass off.
Yeah, now I just answered your question. Can you tell me what epistemology means?
Epistemology is the study of the epistles. I mean, you can. I told you that a husband and wife is supposed to be the representation of God and the church. He said he's a husband. I asked him if he sees himself as the embodiment of God, and he said no. That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, what is the epistles?
The epistles are the apostles. Are you talking about the apostles?